So I'm not sure I can give you a fulfilling, correct answer within the time frame that we have. But I would be happy to be in touch and share with you a more in-depth explanation because this is exactly what I adore talking about. But essentially, there's a lot of different choices that are made by analysts that go into answering that question. And of course, one of the important ones is when we're controlling for something, we are using data to measure something. And so what exactly was measured when that data was collected is an important part of your answer in terms of what is being controlled for. For example, apropos of the salon, there's a lot of data sets out there that have a variable in them called quote unquote race. And what is being measured, if you have a quantitative variable named race, what is being measured, it really matters in terms of the answer to what are we controlling for. And it's one of the easiest ways to accidentally embed racism in a statistical model to use these variables in specific ways. And then when we control for something, let's assume it's in a kind of a simple level regression model. What we're doing is we're saying we're only going to we are now producing answers that have kind of siloed off the impact of the data that we have controlled for. And so we're going to assume that people who have the same answer or the same quality in this variable that we are quote unquote controlling for are more similar to each other than people who have different qualities, and that we are trying to remove the influence of that variable on our outcome. Now, that is not a perfect answer, that there are a lot of statistical nuances, and there are also several different ways to control for a variable that's going to change that. But I think that that's a really good place to start thinking about it. And one of the things about intersectionality, thank you for bringing that up, is that um, there is a mathematical word uh, that is basically intersectionality. That means something related, but very, very different to the kind of social science word of intersectionality. And it's very unfortunate that those words are so similar because that will allow mathematical people to think, oh, I included race as a moderator, and so I'm doing intersectional research. And I know Lisa's like got great papers about this. And there are a lot of different things that the mathematical word that is almost identical or actually identical to kind of the lay word or the social science word, like bias, does not mean mathematical bias and like human fairness are not related. And it's very unfortunate that they are the same word and it's the same thing with intersectionality. Like, I was so happy to find the Intersectionality Training Institute because there are so many data people that think, well, I included race as a moderator, so I am doing intersectional research, like box ticked. And well-intentioned, well-educated people, like not people who are trying to like feed you bad information.